Hi, Mariam. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time. I'm researching how global HR model fit within Pakistan's business environment, and your experience as an HR business partner will be incredibly valuable. Just to frame our conversation, I'm looking at Dave Ulrich three-leg stool model, which splits HR into three specialized roles. HR business partners. These professionals work directly with business leaders and line managers to help align HR strategy with specific business needs and goals. Center of Excellence. These are specialist groups that provide expertise, develop policies, and design programs in key HR areas like talent management, compensation benefits, and learning and development. Shared services. This function centralizes and streamlines routine administrative tasks such as payroll processing, benefit administration, and employee record keeping, often use technology to improve efficiency and consistency. My objective today is to understand how HR actually operates at International Petrochemicals Private Limited, whether this model reflect your reality, what challenges you face, and how it might be adapted for Pakistan's unique culture. So let's start with a quick intro about you and your role.
Thank you so much, Suleiman, for having me, and I really appreciate this opportunity. So, I am Mariam Rahman, and I've been working as an HR business partner here at International Petrochemicals in Lahore for about a year now. And my main focus has been on talent development, basically trying to make sure the HR plans and strategies we roll out actually match what the business really needs.
Thank you so much, Mariam, for joining us. Mariam, tell me, how would you describe your HR structure?
Okay, honestly, it's a bit of a mixed bag. We have a central HR team based at the head office, and then there's me. I'm sort of placed out in one of the business units. We don't really have a formal center of excellence setup, just a few go to specialists who step in when we need deeper help with something. And when it comes to shared services, it's kind of halfway there, like payroll is centralized, but a lot of the day to day admin stuff still lands on people like me. So, in reality, it's not as clean or separate as the model might look on paper.
All right. So, do you have HR business partners and what do they actually do?
Well, we do have the title of HR business partner, but honestly, the reality is we're more like HR generalists with a fancier name. I spend so much of my time on things like employee grievances, sorting out attendance issues, rolling out policies, all operational day to day tasks. The strategic side of things, like sitting down for workforce planning or long term talent strategy, that happen maybe once a quarter if I'm lucky.
Perfect. Mariam, how much of your work is strategic versus admin?
I'd say 70 to 80% of what I do is admin. Things like approving leave, tracking attendance, and handling resignations. It really eats up most of my day. The strategic side, like actually sitting down with business heads to plan out talent needs or future hiring, that does happen, but honestly, not as often as I'd like it to.
Okay. So, does your company use shared services for routine tasks?
For payroll, yes, that's centralized. But when it comes to other things like onboarding, internal transfers, even part of recruitment, it's pretty scattered. Managers here really like to keep control over those processes. So pushing for full centralization is kind of an uphill battle.
Um, are there centers of expertise in your organization?
Not officially, but we definitely have people who are really knowledgeable in areas like talent acquisition or training, but they're not part of a dedicated standalone team. That end up getting pulled into all sorts of other tasks across HR, so it's tough for them to really build deep, focused expertise in one area.
Fair enough. So, does your setup look like Ulrich's three-legged stool model?
On paper, it looks that way, but in practice, not really. The three legs feel kind of wobbly, you know. HRBPs end up handling a lot of admin work. The shared services aren't running at full efficiency. And centers of expertise, well, they're not really a formal thing here. It's all much more blended together than separated out.
Well said. So, Miriam, what's the biggest challenge in your current HR structure?
The role confusion is a big challenge. People often aren't really sure who is responsible for what. Then there's the old systems we're stuck with. Everything just takes longer, and traditionally, HR is still viewed more as support rather than a strategic partner. So, getting that seat at the table is an ongoing battle.
So how does Pakistani culture affect HR's role?
Hierarchy is huge here. Decisions usually come from the top down, and HR's role often feels more about implementing rather than challenging or shaping those decisions. And then there's Sifarish, you know, personal references is hiring, and that can really throw off merit based systems. It's something we quietly try to push back against, but it's always there in the background.
Perfect. So, Miriam, is Ulrich model practical in Pakistan? What do you think about this?
No, not as it is originally designed. It's just too rigid for the way things work here. But if we tweak it, make it more flexible, really account for our cultural dynamics, then yes, I think it could work. We just can't copy and paste a Western model here and expect it to fit.
All right. So you have talked about tweaking it. So what cultural tweaks would make it work?
Okay, so we really need HRBPs who get how to work within family owned businesses, environments, and where relationships often carry more weight than written policies. Also, our performance systems should value teamwork and group harmony, not just individual KPIs. And we can't overlook local realities like adjusting schedules during Ramadan or offering Eid bonuses. These things really matter here.
Perfect. So, Miriam, how does state culture impact HR?
Okay, it's definitely real, and honestly, it's really challenging. Sometimes owners or seniors, senior leaders will make exceptions for family or close friends, and HR has to find a way to make it fit. It can really undermine our policies and makes staying consistent pretty tough.
So what holds back modern HR structures here?
Budget is definitely a big one. We don't have enough investment in HR technology or proper training programs. Plus, there's a real skill gap. Not enough HR people here are actually trained for strategic roles. Matlab, you can say that most of us just learn on the job. It works, but it's not always the most efficient way to grow, you know?
Okay. So, Miriam, how have you seen Western HR practices clash with local norms?
Absolutely, absolutely. We actually tried rolling out 360-degree feedback once, and it kind of backfired because people really weren't comfortable rating their bosses openly. We ended up having to adapt it, which made it fully anonymous and toned down the confrontational feel. So it fit better with how people interact here.
Yeah, fair enough. So what's your top advice for adapting Alwit's model here in Pakistan?
I'd say start small and be patient. Maybe begin by improving shared services to free up some HR time first. Then slowly develop business partners by training them in local negotiation and influence skills, not just textbook strategy. Over time, build real expertise around what matters here, like succession planning in family businesses or Sharia compliant benefits. The key is not to force it all at once.
Very well said. So thank you so much, Mariam. Your insights today have been incredibly helpful and really grounded the research in real world context. I truly appreciate your time and honesty. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariam, for joining us.
Thank you.